Oh ho buddies, welcome to Borderline Games. I'm Gareth and today we're playing another episode of the Devil. Are you liking this series so far? This seems like an interesting game to me. Last time we were introduced to Morgan and we were introduced to London and somebody else, what's her name? I don't know. Flat? No. Raze. There she is, looking all green and then all blue over here. She likes rice, limes, automotive history. She doesn't like liars, small plates, or cheap people. And then here's London. He likes photography, dive bars, and bangs. As in the hair, I'm sure. He dislikes ties, clearly. Pollen, after-hours work messages. He's always running late. So we're introduced to London and Raze. And we are Morgan. And we like puzzles, smoking, wooden furniture, and we hate commercials, hairdressers, and jogging. Anyway, we are currently swooping in. We're like an attorney. This is like an Ace Attorney game. And we are swooping in to defend somebody that has been arrested as the Heartbreak Killer, the HBK. Which I feel like is an abbreviation that is shared with another real-life serial killer. I wonder if that's true. It feels true to me. Anyway, he was found at the scene of the crime with the murder weapon that's been used to kill 5 other people in his hand. He also had a written confession, and we don't know if it's been verified yet, so we're going to find that out now. So let's find that out together. Has it been verified? Not yet. We have to muscle past everyone in fraud and disinfo to get to the front of that line. Why bother? The note's covered in his fingerprints. There's a copy in the discovery data, but I should warn you, it doesn't exactly make for light reading. I'll have to manage somehow. I need to see this confession for myself. Okay, here it is. Sorry for everything. Can't say it hurt. Didn't mean to hurt you or do what I did. Did not. Sick. Want any of it to happen. Can't stay in control when I get mad. When I'm not in control, I hurt people without meaning to. I wish I hadn't broken them. Didn't. Sick. Mean to at first, but I was hurting. Want you to hurt too, but didn't want to hurt you. Words aren't enough. I know that now. I'll take responsibility and do what I've been avoiding. Please forgive me. That was difficult to read. Like, literally difficult to read. Barely legible, in fact. Well, got a spin on that? No need. But it's a confession. Not a confession that he signed, though, is it? Not yet. And not one he intends to sign anytime soon, considering that he asked for representation. Yeah, the most wanted man in the city asked for a lawyer, and got you. Guess you're both lucky. Hardly. I just happened to be awake when the call went out. But I'm not so flush with work that I can afford to turn tail now. So if you don't mind, I'd like to go and speak with my client. What? He's not still handcuffed in there, is he? Look, counsellor, with all due respect, we have strong evidence pointing to that man being responsible for 6 murders. 2 hours or so in cuffs isn't cruel or unusual. And that's for your safety as well. It's kind of you to worry, but I doubt I'll be in any danger. He's killed 6 women. Yeah, but they've all brown hair, brown eyes. None of them are redheads. Seriously though, I'd like to speak with him alone now. Camera's off if you don't mind. Mic's on or off is your call, counsellor. But we'll be watching the feed from right outside in case anything happens. And the cuff, that is, stays on. That worried about me. How chivalrous. Yeah, my armor's practically blinding. Gross. I'll start up the unlock cycle. Counsellor, just one last word of advice. If you have any interest in his well-being, I'd suggest you help him sign that confession. Not a bad idea. I do get paid either way. But the defense part of defense attorney isn't just for show, detective. I mean it. 6 people dead is one thing. He's also caused weeks of widespread terror and public unrest. Putting it another way, he's made the state look bad. Oh, now I've got brown hair. That's a capital crime, if there ever was one. And even if the death penalty's not actually on the table these days, I can guarantee he's not going to like? He doesn't talk like that, does he? He doesn't say like. He's not going to like whatever rehabilitation plan they draw up for him. Look, I've seen the virtual work release program in person, and it's being challenged before the Supreme Court. Yeah. Sometime in the next decade, maybe. Just remember, a plea deal might feel like a loss for you, but if it keeps him from, well, that's probably a win for your client, right? Prison sentences are generally lighter for those who plead guilty. That much is true. It saves the court a great deal of time and money, and they show their gratitude with reduced sentencing. But no one will ever be grateful toward the Heartbreak Killer. Anyone convicted for killing 6 people, they'll never rest their mind another day in their life. They'll never rest their mind another day in their life. 3:35 a.m. Oh, it is? I thought it was 4. June 5th, 2086. We've got a final year reveal. Maybe it was revealed before. Ehud. Here he is. It's depressing as hell in here. They need to liven this place up. Carlos flat, right? Hope you don't mind if I get comfortable. We've got a lot to cover, but this shouldn't take all night. What are you... Look, I already told you people, I didn't... I'm not a cop, Carlos. Furthest thing from it. I'm a lawyer. Your lawyer, in fact. And I'm here to help you. Yeah, well, they said that too. All of them did. Back there, in here, kept repeating it the whole ride over. They said that they were going to help me. That they knew this was all a mistake. Then they said that I killed. Acting like they were on my side and they thought that I could have. That I... It's not their job to help you, Carlos. But it is mine. And I'm here now. He's still in shock. I need more information, but if I approach this the wrong way, he'll just clam up even more. I'm sure you're exhausted. It's probably difficult to think, let alone speak. But I'd like you to try and answer a few questions. The police already questioned you, I'm sure. But they were treating you as a suspect, not as a client. Okay. So what do you want to know? I want to know about you. I want to get to know the real Carlos Flat. I'm just going to put some cool music on for us to jive whilst I question you. Let's start simple. Something mundane, grounded, rote. I'd like to know a bit more about your first... no, hang on. That came out wrong. I don't want to know about you first. About you first, Carlos. Something like... what line of work are you in? I'm with City Engineering. Or I was, or I should be. As I thought, the police must be convinced he mapped the optics blackouts using data he stole from work. My arm, I got it slotted for the job. And, Carlos, I'm gonna need more than that. So what do I know? He works in City Engineering, not a desk job. Ray said he was modded for work, and that arm must be in custody at the moment, but based on his shoulder, it'd have to be pretty lifelike. Utilitarian. Pretty lifelike. Lifelike, perhaps, with the fake skin, with the faux hair, and a simulated blood flow? As if. I've seen his apartment. He's not that kind of spender. No, he's pragmatic, grounded, and very unlucky. In which case, I should be too. You know, my brother wanted to mod. Really? Really? I don't even have a brother. He had everything planned out. A whole career path of promotions and bonuses and the upgrades they'd afford him. Then came his 18th birthday present, test results politely informing him that he's not a viable candidate. That sucks. I think he felt relieved, actually. Seems like it was a weight off his chest. Like he was glad that he didn't have to choose. Does that make any sense? Yeah, I think it does. I always figured if I'd start at all, I'd start small. A hand or an eye. Test the water. Never thought about lobbing my whole damn arm off, but the recruiter was, enthusiastic. He said because of the NCDA there was financial aid and resources. Of course that got shit canned, so now me and every other modder is totally royally screwed. Couldn't even let me keep the tax credit. The New Citizens and Disabilities Act was amended, not repealed, but I doubt he'd appreciate the distinction at the moment. I worked at the tighter spaces, the high vault environments, mostly canopy upkeep. Typical stuff for modders, you know? He's speaking freely now. Don't need to do much more than repeat his words back to him to keep him talking. But the right word choice here or there can still make a difference. You work on the canopy, you must be, under a lot of pressure. Is this lit up because it's the right answer, or is it lit up because it's an additional answer? You must be under a lot of pressure, now that the subways are cordoned off. Damn straight. And this crap with Long. Once word got out about the case against him was real. That the case against him was real. Every desk job in the chain became terrified of their own shadow. What are you talking about? Who is... What is Long? Am I an idiot? Reading list? No. Subways abandoned? Civil engineering efforts will be refocused. The canopy... Long. Investigations into Councilman Long's campaign financial irregularities as one of Canopy's major backers. Right, online chatter barely reacted to the announcement, with most commenters and voters' attention focused instead on the growing investigations into Councilman Long's campaign finance irregularities. Interesting. People with corporations alike have little choice for how they complete their morning commute. Mind-boggling, wasteful, and impractical in the extreme. Though one council member was quoted as calling their system mind-bogglingly wasteful. I see. It appears that you have 0 free articles remaining this month. Please verify your account information in order to continue reading the stories that matter. Alright. Let's get back to this. Let me get back to the action. I got some credits there. Oh! Do I use those credits? Is that what I do? That's a cool thing. Isn't it? Maybe I don't. Reading list. No, I don't. That would have been cool, though. That would have been cool. I don't know what I'd do with that. Evidence. Platts note, victim, revolver. Coat. He has a coat. Okay. Yes. All of them convinced that internal affairs is going to come knocking in if they misplace so much as a paperclip. Everything by the book means no room for compromise, no room for problem solving, no room for engineering. Yeah. And no patience for screw-ups. He's trying very hard to not look at his shoulder. Why aren't you wearing your prosthetic right now, Carlos? Yeah. That. Rejection issues starting last month. A lot of sleepless nights. Rejection? Did the therapy not take? Therapy? Therapy, mod therapy. And depending on an individual's viability or lack of thereof, medications and even minor viral tuning may be employed to modify the body's immune response. But improvements made in recent years in medically sterile alloys have greatly reduced the percentage of the patients that require such treatment. Interesting. Very interesting, Mr. Bond. Okay. It's not like that. I wasn't oozing pus out of my sockets or anything. Then, do these rejection issues have anything to do with your scars? Not in the way you're thinking. I'm right-handed. So those cuts in his face are just from shaving. Never thought this would go on for so long. I'd have to relearn how to do everything. I mean, the problem started small. Trembling, but then spasms. Just oversensitivity, they said. An easy fix. But the problem got bigger. Couldn't let it get that far. I need to be able to trust my own hands. Your own hands when you're on the job site. Drop a cutter at the wrong moment and people could get hurt. So I sat down, made an appointment, turned in my arm, and watched my case get placed at the back of the damn line. Where did you turn it in? Some mass turnaround chop shop with a waiting list like you wouldn't. It doesn't sound like you're a happy customer. Hell no! I found a dozen other clinics with shorter wait times. For as long as I'm renting and not owning. The manufacturer decides where your arm gets maintenance. What are you telling me now? Evidence. Okay. Submitted 5 weeks ago at a Heyo partnered prosthetic adjustments clinic. Yes. Oh yes. And that's why I'm sitting here with this expensive ass stump for a shoulder. I've been able to work in weeks. Bosses were generous enough to say my position might still be there when I get the 2 working arms again. You couldn't buy or rent a replacement yourself, or just in the meantime? I serve at the pleasure of the state, and they've got exclusivity contracts with Hindi, all locked up white knuckle tight. Hindi? Heyo Industries. As I recall, he's registered with one of the Habilis models. Right, okay, so he can't switch over because it's locked up in a contract. If I took one step on the site with uninsured tech, forget the fines, I lose the down payment and my arm. And I'd never work in this city again. If this was last quarter, maybe I could have worked something out with management, but like I said, no one's sticking their neck out for anyone. Now that Long's in deep hot shit. You mentioned discomfort. Something said... There he is. He dislikes cabs, musicals, and cashews. He didn't tell us that. He's got poor luck. He's got a sizable student debt, and his favourite flower is a poppy. His blood type is B negative. You mentioned discomfort. Are you in pain? Pain will come and go. It's the itches that'll kill you. And the phantoms come back pretty fast when I don't have anything. Arm shaped attached to me. Didn't they give you something to... well, wear in the meantime? Something the clinics tend to lend out for cases like this. What they gave me is a dead weight. 3-jointed, landfill-baked piece of shit! Sorry, it's a very shitty feeling, having a part of your body that you know, they cut corners on. It fits. It's compatible, technically. I can slot it in and feel on balance again. But the fingers don't even bend, and the quick twitch motors are way off. It's like walking around with your arm asleep or dead. So were you wearing it when you were arrested? Choice of words are important, so when you were arrested. Were you wearing it when you were arrested? No, I wasn't. But I'm pretty sure I saw the police bagging it as evidence, so can't have gotten too far. So Detective Rose was being quite literal about how he was found. So his hand had blood on it. He had the victim's blood in his left arm, only because at the time of question he didn't even have his right. Okay, on his actual left arm, the one that is actually his arm, not the prosthetic. No inconsistencies in the story so far, and he's opened up about as well as can be expected. But this has all just been a warm-up for the both of us. Now comes the delicate part. I like those bits. Menus for days. Carlos, you and the victim were romantically involved. How long did you two know each other? Right. I've known her since college. We shared a few classes, some mutual friends. Always got along. Eventually we just got together at some point. Guess I never actually asked her out the real formal way. Sounds pretty cowardly saying that out loud. Diane, she was in genetics, focused her studies in agriculture. It always takes them a few tries to get used to using past tense. Just finished her post-grad work this year. Got hired right out the gate, practically headhunted. You believe that? Practically headhunted. Of course she was. Any company would be lucky to have her, unlike me. It was a real ass job. Paid real ass money too. So her career was starting to pan out. Right as yours had fallen into the mother of all slumps. Where was she hired? Pedigree Laboratories. I said that like the name matters. The whole setup's under Harco's umbrella. That doesn't narrow it down. The Harvest Corporation grows a third of the soybeans and corn in the entire country. One client that size, the lab wouldn't need any others. Now, no corporation earns the mega prefix without a little throat cutting, but Harco is about as tame as big business can get. Predictable like the seasons. No one's going to buy that. No one's going to buy that they had some lab tech murdered because of corporate greed. And she adjusted well to their new job. Yeah, they loved having her there. She never mentioned arguments or disputes, corporate politics getting rough. I don't think so. Not like I've been a good listener lately, but never got the impression that she, Look, no one I know could do this to her. And there's nothing that she could have done that would deserve what happened to her. It was a long shot, hoping for a disgruntled character from her past to shift blame onto. But with no other suspects, I can't just reshuffle the detectives' suspicions. I'll have to disprove their argument entirely. Thank you, Carlos. That was very helpful. It was. Now I'd like you to try and tell me whatever you can about what happened tonight. Start at the beginning and take your time. The details are important. It's imperative you get it right. Alright, Miss Morgan. I'll try, Morgan. When you're ready. We were arguing. We've been arguing a lot lately. Arguing about stupid stuff. Haven't been working, haven't been making money, haven't been pulling my weight. I was mad at myself, but more than that, I was jealous of her. Jealous over nothing. Jealous over goddamn money. The reports say you were arguing around 8 PM. 8? Yeah, it must have been when we started. We got into it, and I said a lot of things that I shouldn't have. And I said one thing that I really, really shouldn't have. I crossed a line. We both knew it, so I left. You left? Yeah. Walked out the front door. Thought some fresh air might help me cool off. Help me figure out what to say to make it up to her. Of course, the air wasn't fresh, just humid. Thick like mud. And while I was pissing away the time, Diane was... Did you bring your phone with you, or any other electronics? No. I kinda stormed off. Didn't even take my key fobs. Didn't even lock the door behind me. Uh-oh. With optics down, traffic and street-level cameras won't help him. That leaves... Did you go through a checkpoint or talk to anyone with modded eyes? Did you buy anything, cash or credit? No, not even a vending machine. Not even a damn vending machine, huh? I may have met my match, but can anyone be this unlucky? That's quite unfortunate. I just wanted quiet at the time. Wanted to wallow in it, really. Sorry if I don't have all the details quite right. My head is, But if my exact route could help, the cams probably... What? What is it? Optics was what? Can that even happen? And there's no other proof that you were out at the time Dan was killed. Meaning you've got no alibi. This can't! Listen, I didn't do this, I couldn't! Carlos. I'm the one person you don't have to try and convince. After all, I'm your lawyer. So let's just get it all out there and see what we've got to work with. Right, okay. Now, you said you left to clear your head. So what made you come back? I came back because I heard a noise. A loud noise. Didn't know what it was. But it was loud, and it scared me. And it came from the direction of our apartment. I was walking back at first, but at some point I must have started running because when I got back I was so out of breath. When I saw that the front door was open, something dropped in my chest and my lungs wouldn't. You live on the first floor, right? Yeah, first floor apartment. Street facing entrance. We were proud of that when we first moved in, so like it was some kind of big deal. From the hallway I saw her, but I didn't realise. I never thought that she was. The lights were off, the whole room was a mess. I thought we'd been robbed, or she'd fallen, or there was broken glass, furniture knocked over. And she was... I called her name and she didn't move. I checked her pulse and she was still warm. Her blood was warm. And I saw the gun. It looked so heavy, but I thought it had to be fake because I didn't want it to be real. Is that why you picked it up? What? Pick it up? I didn't touch that thing. I didn't shoot her, goddammit. Doing what I do, you hear a lot of lies. White lies, blatant lies, hasty lies. Bad lies, especially. Oh, for me it's always been easy to spot a lie. But it can be hard to know what to do about it. Just gonna have a drink. Hang on a second. Ah, that's better. I have all the proof I need in my files, but he's nervous and defensive. And none of this works if he doesn't trust me. You were found with it? Oh, your prints are on it? It's a fact that your fingerprints are on that gun. What? But I didn't do this. I wasn't thinking. I was just... Carlos, all I'm saying is that you picked it up. That's all. Would you believe me if I said I didn't realize it was a gun? That explains how his prints got on the gun, but not in a way that would satisfy the police. Still, if all he did was hold the gun... So stupid, I know what a gun looks like. But seeing it in my own home, right in front of... You were in shock, Carlos. You still are. The police came in, sometime after that. I don't remember much of what was said. Things started moving fast. It seemed like... The rest of my night went... Probably the way you'd expect. Carlos, you admit to having a verbal argument with Diane, but you said you were surprised to see the room trashed when you got back. To clarify, you're saying that you two never had a physical fight. What? Physical? We never fought. We never fought like that. Did the police say what we did? Did they say that we did? They assumed as much. Which means they also assumed the room was disheveled well before the shooting occurred. Considering what Carlos had told me, what else did they assume? What is it? I'd like you to take a look at something for me. The crime scene. Oh. It's an AR model built from data taken as the police entered, so... Right, it's just that... It's just data, Carlos. No grisly details. Okay. Let me see it. Take your time. He's just looking at the floor now, just really taking in that floor. Alright, I think I've got it. That's how the police found things. Now close your eyes and think back to how the room looked when you left. Try and focus on what's out of place. Alright. I'll take notes. You just say whatever comes to mind. I don't remember exactly where everything was. But, well, the mirror was upright, of course. And the clock was still on the wall. The chair got knocked over at some point and the bed got tossed. The cushion's torn. And the urn fell. Other than that... No, sorry, that's all that stands out to me. I see. Like so. Okay, so we've done a little picture of what he's thought of. What's wrong? Something out of place? No, it just looks terrible. Carlos, you need to trust your instinct. If anything seems off, don't be afraid to speak up. It's just, I guess I can't... I just assumed your notes would be making edits to the AR. Well, I suppose that works too. Sorry, I didn't mean to, I think your drawing was pretty good, considering. I'd like to change the subject now, Carlos. Right. Let's talk about the letter that was found on your desk. Letter? What do you mean? I mean, this letter here, do you recognize it? Because the police are calling it a confession. A confession, but this is just a note to self. What? A note to self? Confession. Sorry for everything, can't say it enough. Didn't mean to hurt you or do what I did. Did not want any of it to happen. What? Note to self? What are you talking about? Pardon? Look, when we fight, I lose my temper, say things I didn't mean to. So this morning I tried writing things down so I'd have a script to stick to. So I could apologize to her instead of just fighting with her. Oh, okay. Right, I see. Carlos, you say in the note that you hurt them. That's... I broke her fidget tubbies. Yeah, that would devastate me if someone broke my fidget tummies. Her what? Her what? Her fidget tummies. They're these collectible ceramic character things. They're supposed to be like tactile. Use them as paperweights or conversation starters. Conversation starters? She loved these little things. They're not worth a damn. You can buy them at any flea market or garage sale, but they meant a lot to her. And I broke them. Fidget tubbies. Into the bank. I mean, I was pissy at the time, but for that goddamn piece of shit rental arm, I hardly know where I'm swinging it half the time. I got so angry I just ripped it off and tossed it in my room. That cheap, dusty, worthless. Okay, let's just say he did break a Frigiduckies with his replacement arm. Frigiduckies, that's wrong. He literally just said it. What does that change? Nothing at the moment. There's not enough detail in the note for me to prove that what his intent was when he sat down to write it. But if the police insist on claiming it's a confession for the Heartbreak killings anyway... Couldn't even bother to sweep them up, I felt so... Oh, that's the little mess in the corner. Alright, Carlos. Thanks for answering my questions. Now I'm going to call the police back in here and I'm going to get this cleared up for you. What? That's it? That's it? Oh, okay. Although, before I do that, I do have to ask, what do you know about the Heartbreak Killer? Heartbreak? You mean that psycho that was trending all month? I mean, as much as anyone, I guess. I haven't been getting out much, but I'm sure everyone's on edge. A guy like that out there. He shoots people. Through the heart, right? The police have kept the victim's appearances far away from any upstanding news sources. So unless he was already following the murders, Carlos wouldn't notice any resemblance to his girlfriend. I mean, she was shot in the chest, but that's just, that doesn't mean anything, does it? If he's this slow on the uptake, it's going to be a real shock when those officers walk in here and accuse him of being a serial killer. I'll just have to squash that theory as quickly and definitively as possible. 4:04 AM, June 5th, 2086. I didn't realize you could smoke in here, and then put it in your coffee that's clearly full, and that's kind of gross. And technically, I can smoke wherever I want. For a fee. Smoking in a non-smoking area. 3,000. I guess so. Nervous? Don't be. I'm the one who's on the clock. Right, I'm sure this isn't your first time doing this. No, of course not. It'll be my first homicide defense, though. Oh. Why does everyone else always think that the first time's so goddamn important? Hey, cheer up. I've got relevant experience in other areas. Oh. And, what areas, are those? You ever gamble, Carlos? No, Mom. I never go anywhere without, I don't go anywhere near loot boxes. Won't touch the stuff. I meant more like playing cards. Oh, well, then, note that too. I've actually got terrible luck. Could have fooled me. Well, what I do is a lot like poker, Carlos. Poker's nice because if you're dealt nothing but crap all night long, you can still win. Which makes things pretty fun. Okay, so, you have a good poker face. I like to think so. I know you're lucky. Only when the stakes are high. And, in this metaphor, we're playing poker. And, state's the dealer. If only. No, the state's more like the house. You mean like the house always wins? Yes. They're very good at it. Winning, I mean. That's why they're up there and we're down here. That's why they're the house. So what do? We play the cards we're dealt as best we can. Win more hands than we lose. Keep it up and eventually someone will come over and tap the dealer on the shoulder and whisper something in their ear. And then we'll be politely asked to leave. That doesn't sound very triumphant. The house always wins. So our definition of victory is more like, don't lose. Thanks, Morgan. But I guess I was more asking, like, what should I say? Just leave all the talking to me. So that's the strategy. What's up? You know, there's always a saying. Why am I putting words in? There's always a saying about gamblers with strategies. Yo. Ready to confess yet? Because I already woke up the DA. Already? She must be new. The district attorneys have final say on whether or not a case is brought to trial. Only fair, since the ones who end up having to actually prove the damn thing. Most of them prefer simple, guilty pleas over long, protracted trials. And they all dislike having their time wasted. Unfortunately then, you'll have to call them back. Because my client is not guilty. And frankly, I'm not even sure you have enough to hold him here. Right. What she said. You got a weird sense of humour, Counselor. Different generations, I guess. Before my time kind of thing. I'm very serious when it comes to defending a man's innocence, Detective. Counselor, we have your client's written confession. His written confession. Let's start there. Okay, we'll be happy to. The thrust of every argument starts with the facts. What's already known and agreed upon. Public knowledge for every player at the table. It's pretty simple, Counselor. Real paint-by-numbers stuff. I'm trying to... Oh, what? Do I need to put things here? I see. See, we found a note at his apartment. With his fingerprints on it. Apologising for how he hurt them all so bad. He hurt them all so bad. Now, how are you planning to spin that? Those are the facts. I've been building up my hand all night. And now I've got the weapons to answer anything and they try and throw at me. Well, my client did write that note and it was an apology. But not for murder. He was apologising for... And we are going to look at this next time on Borderline Games. I think I know what the answer is. It's going to be this. It's not going to be that. But we will look at this next time on Borderline Games. Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Devil? Is that what it's called? I think it's called Of the Devil. Have a good evening. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.